More Dems are going down. Yvette Clarke just got the worst news ever in House IT scandal. Brothers who were born in Pakistan and employed in our United States government as IT aides by congressional Democrats, including Debbie Wasserman Schultz, are under investigation by the FBI. They are Imran Awan and his brothers, Abid and Jamal, as well as Imran's wife. Wasserman Schultz seems to have been at least complicit in much of what the Awans allegedly got away with in our House of Congress. But there's more Congress people who allowed their apparent criminal acts to occur right under their noses. In 2016, one of the Awan brothers told New York Democratic Representative Yvette Clarke's office that $120,000 of office equipment was, well, just gone. And instead of reporting this apparent gigantic theft, Clarke's chief of staff just signed a form which simply removed the equipment from a house tracking system such that it would not come up in any future audits. Oh, here's Clarke acting concerned about terrorism. Let's take a quick listen to her.
Gentlelady from New York, my colleague, Ms. Yvette Clarke, recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and let me say that today's hearing has been a great congressional theater, certainly the equivalent of reality TV, and I'm just really appalled at the fact that we have not really gotten to a substantive conversation about how we define terrorism, how we define the whole idea of radicalization. Because just in listening, if I had my eyes closed and listening to Mr. Bledsoe and Mr. Behe, not to diminish what they've been through because their experience is real, but I have parents in my district who can sit and talk about their children being recruited, their children being brainwashed, and their children are gang members. Okay, and the bloodshed, the lives that have been lost in communities like mine across this nation since I've been here has not been an issue of homeland security. And when I hear Dr. Jasser talk about the concerns about the elements of radicalization and existence in Islam, I'm also reminded that there are those same elements evident in Christianity and in Judaism. I know because I represent all three faiths in my district. And as someone who was directly impacted by 9/11 and who has lived in a community where we have respected every human being, irregardless of their background, their ethnicity, their religion, to see us come to this day where we pointing fingers at one another, I don't see the benefit in it. I see the benefit in the approach of Sheriff Bach. I see the benefit in us opening up the dialogues, but I don't see the benefit in stigmatizing, in finger pointing, or even creating the specter that it may occur, even if it doesn't, as being something worthy of where we should be in our collective humanity in the 21st century. And so while I can empathize with the challenges faced by these families, we can all point to instances in our districts where families are suffering. The goal here should be, how do we address that suffering through communication, through dialogue, through enlightenment, which is where we need to be in the 21st century. I'd like to take this moment and yield the balance of my time to the gentlelady from California, Ms. Laura Richardson.
Thank you, Ms. Clarke. For the record, I just wanted to clarify and build upon the last question I asked you, Sheriff Baca. There have been two issues that Mr. King brought up for this hearing. One was the fact of are American Muslims cooperating with law enforcement? The second issue is the scope. And so I just...
Investigators believe that the Awans were removing the equipment and selling it, and yet, despite equipment disappearing, they remained employed by dozens of members of Congress. In fact, since 2007, Clarke's IT was handled by Imran, his wife, and Abid. Clarke's office didn't think it was important to alert authorities of the disappearance of $120,000 worth of equipment until they were asked as part of the probe into these Pakistani-born brothers. Maybe because Congress members can be personally liable for missing equipment. So take one guess who ultimately paid the price for the loss. One clue, it's the taxpayer-funded office. That is the least of our problems, actually, when you're talking about this. This is peanuts to the government that spends billions and trillions on bombs and warheads and whatever. We're talking about in 2007. Bush was in office in 2007, if I'm not mistaken. So we had all these things going on. And nobody for 10 years, they saw that Imran Awan is in there and doing all of this. This is what I'm trying to say. These are inside jobs, folks. This is an inside job, and it stems back to the Bush family. Guarantee it's and Obama was put into office through the Bush family, and this guy. He just didn't show up. It's very disturbing, and I think the whole thing we're focusing a lot on Obama, but guess who's behind Obama? The George Bush there, and the father too. So we got a big problem here, and I don't know exactly what it is, but this is not smelling correctly to me. That's all I have to say about this. Because this guy has been in for 10 years. Obama was in for 8. And Trump just got in. And this guy is 10 years in. And we're talking about only 120 grand. That's not the problem. The problem is, who did he sell this equipment to? Do you see where I'm going? It's not the equipment per se. It's what's in it. That's the important part. And then he must have had dirt on these people for them not to come up and, it's not because they would have been held liable. They could have said that this equipment went missing. We don't know who took it. That's not the point. What was in that equipment? And why was Wasserman Schultz so adamant about getting this equipment back from the police? This is like very disturbing information. Very disturbing, to say the least. Let me know what you guys think of, in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.